This would be rescue number 23.
Oh my gosh.
That is a busy household.
Yeah.
I told him to get the F out of my house until he learned some damn respect. Woo. 3, 2, 1. You
Everyone
are the drama.
sucks here, I think.
Ooh. Did not expect that. Accidentally had my baby
How?
at my friend's house. What?
How do you accidentally have a baby at somebody's house?
I love my best friends. I don't want them seeing me pushing a squish out my vag. There's a line.
You're through to 1-800-DRAMA,
The show where you share your biggest dilemmas.
and we help you navigate them.
I'm Shaaba.
And I'm Jamie,
Come join us as we help people figure out if they are the drama.
because sometimes you just need an outside perspective.
And we can all expand our own mindsets along the way.
Wait, am I the drama? Red flag, green flag, Shaaba.
Hit me.
When loved ones show up unannounced to your house. Just randomly popping by.
That is an interesting one. Okay, so being Asian, my family actually had like an active open door policy. It would genuinely be seen by some members of my family as insulting if you texted to be like, hey, I'd like to come over. Is that okay? They're like, why the hell are you asking?
Yeah, but what if they're out?
Or like naked.
Yeah,
and,
or just
you know,
busy.
like just like pottering around
Or,
your house doing...
they just want to sit and watch TV on a Saturday afternoon.
I hear you. I think it depends. Like, if you're in my core circle of loved ones, I'd be okay with it. If you're at the door, you need to be prepared for me to be like, okay, 5 minutes, babe. I need to sort myself out.
Yeah, I'd be okay with it under certain circumstances. I don't need an arrangement for a phone call or even a video call. You FaceTime me, you video call me, you call me whenever. But showing up at my door, I'm very much the type of person who needs half an hour to tidy the house before people come over. Even if the house is tidy, I need to make
the
it
place to
extra.
be spotless. Yeah, Jamie wants like show house level
of
presentation.
I do not achieve that. However, I want to get as close to it as possible, and it's like what if there's like a little cat poop in
Do you
the
know what I
tray
mean? You
or
need
something?
to make sure that the toilet doesn't have any of those skids.
And also, nice, Shaaba.
It's
also,
true.
What if I just don't want to talk to people? Sometimes my social battery is empty.
No, my super close loved ones, that will never happen. I'm like, whenever, babe, whenever.
I
also,
orange flag it.
I green flag it if you're in need.
Yes.
In any way, you come.
Oh yeah, I don't care what's going on with me. If you need people and you need to come over, you just come over.
But otherwise, I really would appreciate just a little, just like a half-hour warning would be great.
But that's why I orange flag it, because I'm like, just say, hey, I'm in the area.
No,
mind
you
if I
need to
pop
red
by?
or green. This is a black and white game, Jamie.
No.
With respect, red flag.
I definitely red flag it for people that aren't immediate family or closest friends.
Yes.
But other than that,
Yes. No, red flag. But
Yeah.
that is my answer.
I think probably overall a red flag, because in certain scenarios green flag, but mostly red.
How's life treating you, Jamie?
Absolutely fine. Building up to Christmas.
Yeah, I'm so here for it. I've been loving spooky season so far.
Well, spooky season is over, Shaaba. It's now
know.
all about the man in the red suit and those little boxes of gifts and the food. It's mostly the food.
I'm here for the food. For now, though, are you ready to go fishing? For
Drama.
assholes, let's go. Oh, drama.
Am I the drama, Shaaba?
Always.
For constantly adopting new animals without asking permission from my significant other.
Ooh.
Yes.
Just yes.
Just yes. Like what? No. If you kept coming home with kittens, no.
Are you living together?
Oh, good point.
Because if so, I think so. Regardless of their relationship with you, if you've got the shared common boundaries of a house, you gotta ask that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm intrigued. For context, says OP, I own the house that I live in.
Mm-hmm.
I work from home and I own a business. I'm completely able to take care of the animals that I adopt by myself. My boyfriend and I started dating 4 years ago, and we moved in together 2 years ago.
No, you live together. Don't care.
It's like badge at the ready.
I don't need anything else. You live together.
I've always been wealthy, good for you, but very good with my money. When we started dating, I made sure to let him know that I have no self-control when it comes to animals in need, and I would adopt any and all animals that needed me. Ooh, that does change things.
It changes it a little bit, but I still think that what also changes that is when you live together. Because telling him when you started dating, there was no assumption that you would live together one day. You don't know that this is going to become a serious thing or that you're going to share a living space.
I hear
it's
your
different.
point.
There needs to be a new conversation when you move in together.
I register your point. Let's see.
Yes.
I'm still brewing. He lives with me rent-free. Ooh. That changes things too, right?
It does change things.
It does change things. Okay, he's currently in university, studying full-time. He does have a job, but all of those expenses go towards paying off his university university debt.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
Because you don't.
Maybe
Maybe
US
it's the
system.
US,
A lot
yeah.
of these posts are actually from the States. In the UK, you wouldn't start paying off university debt until after and whatever. Anyway, I pay a maid to come in and clean once a week.
Right.
That's nice. The house is completely clean all of the time. The animals inside the main house don't make a mess. We have a granny flat outside that I use to keep the rest of my animals. What's a granny flat?
Is it like a outhouse or like an annex? Because I've heard of granny annex.
Granny flats and granny annexes are terms used to describe self-contained living spaces that are often located on the same property as the main residence.
Yeah.
So this is like a full-on, like,
So it's an
smaller
annex.
second house.
Yeah.
Like, it is a full-on... Because, like, I was like, you can't be keeping... I mean, to be fair, I still question that a little bit. Like, you can't keep
What if that's
them...
like cats?
Yeah, like,
Then-
without human interaction in a different building to you. If it was, like, guinea pigs or rabbits, I understand that sometimes people do circulations. Well, they'll, like, my family, for example, they'll bring the rabbits in during the daytime and pop them out in their little, like, heated
I
hotel
also
bit for
think
night.
a lot of people have like outdoor rabbits during the summer, and then they have an outbuilding where they put them in the winter, and
Yeah.
they don't live in the house. And like house rabbits, I think are less common. So I don't think this is bad if it's like small rodents or reptiles and
Yes, but if we're
things.
talking like dogs or cats
Yeah.
or bigger.
But we don't know.
Yeah, I want to know. I feel like this is important. But carrying on. Recently, we had a massive fight because I brought home a new pet. This would be rescue number 23.
Oh my gosh.
That is a busy household.
Yeah.
I got her from an online listing. She's an incredibly underweight female rat. Oh, about half the weight that she should be, as well as a URI.
No idea. Urinary rat infection.
Urinary rat infection. Upper respiratory infection.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay, don't you go adopting any URI underweight rats.
She's been checked out by my vet, and my vet is confident that she'll be completely fine. My boyfriend got so angry at me, and he said he's sick of all of these animals, and if I don't stop rescuing them, he would leave me.
Oh.
Okay, let's keep reading. I
Yeah.
have so many thoughts. I told him he was being unreasonable since it's my house and he doesn't see the animals all that often. He responded saying that he hates the rodents and he hates that I walk around with them on my shoulder constantly, along with handling other animals. He told me that it's not fair for him to not tell him that I got a new pet until after I got it, and I told him that it's none of his business what I do in my house. I told him to get the F out of my house until he learned some damn respect. Woo! I've done nothing but support him, but I absolutely will not budge about literally saving the lives of animals in distress. I adopt the oldest, most unwell animals I possibly can because no one else would. I work my ass off every day at work, constantly responding to emails, consulting a design team, business meetings, etc. to be able to provide for my pets, and I would do anything for them. I'm considering breaking up with him over this.
Honestly, I probably would. They just don't sound compatible.
I'm with you. I have to say, like, good on you, OP, like, brownie badge. I need to give
For
like,
rescuing
your
the
absolute,
animals.
like, badassness in doing that. It does sound like maybe they are rodent-y pets.
Yeah.
My worries about the granny flat have been put to rest.
I have an issue because things sound very unequal in this relationship, and I think that's a bigger problem than the animals.
Yes.
Because it just doesn't work for me that having a partner live with me would feel like I'm having a lodger who shares my bed.
I totally
like that,
agree with
that's not a setup for me personally that works. And I think it, in my experience, reading these stories, seeing other people, it always leads to these kind of conflicts, whether it's over pets, whether it's over crockery, whether it's over furniture, whatever. There's always somebody who feels like they're in that position to say, this is my house. No, I veto anything I don't want, and I can do anything I want to do. You have no say. That is always going to cause issues within a relationship because you're not equal. You're not sharing your home space. You're not seeing your partner as somebody who has just as much right to be in that property as you.
I'm with you. I think boundaries are always a wonderful thing to establish, and if you want to do something, you can do that. I like the fact that OP has been very open and been like, look, I've always said this is what I'm going to do. This is my money. I'm not asking you for anything towards it. I set those boundaries beforehand, but just because you are capable of setting boundaries doesn't mean that they are healthy boundaries to have. In a relationship, you're right, that dynamic of power of you literally viewing almost like your partner as one of your pets, right? Maybe that sounds a little bit crass. What
It
I
feels
mean
a
is
bit
like,
childlike.
yeah, you're like, I'm paying for you. I'm doing this so you don't have a say. Like, a relationship is a partnership.
Yeah.
And when you're going in with that dynamic of power expectation already being so unequal, just doesn't sound the healthiest.
Yeah.
And I totally appreciate that lots of couples work in different ways. There's no, like, one right way to be a couple, but this does feel like objectively unhealthy couple behaviour to be on such different footings.
And I'd also question, why does he live with you rent free? It's been explained with the university, but was that like who led that decision? Because if it was a mutual thing of, hey, the boundary is we love each other, we want to move in together, we want to take that next step, but the level of income you have, OP, OP, I can't match that right now, and so I cannot pay in what you pay in. And if there was that boundary set of like, yes, this is our shared home, we live here together, because that's what happens when you move in together. It becomes a shared home.
It sounds like maybe there is that OP's like, I've always been very wealthy, I've always been good with my money, I have a job, my partner is not wealthy, but clearly OP has the requirements for a bigger space and this second space for the animals.
Yeah, I just think where my head is at is, say I earn all the money in a relationship and you were studying, or for whatever reason you were not earning, I would not consider you a lodger or a subordinate in my home. It would still be our home, even if I'm paying for it.
I totally agree.
Because we now share everything because we're a couple.
And just because you're not financially contributing the same way doesn't mean that you're not entitled to feel at ease and like comfortable in your own house.
Yeah.
I do still feel like that is a bit of a, I don't want to say dodgy, like in a bad way, but that's what I mean. Like, you can enforce the boundaries, that's great, but like they're not very reasonable boundaries.
It's an imbalance of power.
23 pets. Like, I love the fact that you are able to do that for animals. That's so amazing. But if someone else is not, I don't think you can have a go at them for not being on board with that lifestyle. I don't like it when people are like, break up, but honestly, this does sound like an incompatibility. Like, it's not going to go away. Someone's either okay with having 23 plus pets or not okay with having 23 plus pets.
I agree. I think it's an incompatibility with the pets. You still want the pets, he doesn't want them. How do you move forward from that? I don't know. Then the bigger incompatibility to me is you guys living together for 2 years and OP is still like, this is my home.
Yeah.
That seems really bizarre to me, because a home being your home isn't just dependent on what you financially contribute. You said that. I completely agree. I do have a badge.
3, 2, 1.
Everyone
are the drama.
Sucks here, I think. I think because he
did not expect that.
He did move in with her. He did move in with OP, knowing about the animals and knowing about the financial contribution and the setup. I do not agree personally with OP's setup and the balance of power within the relationship and bringing pets home without saying anything. But also, he did go into that relationship. I think OP is the bigger drama, but I don't think boyfriend is excused of all fault.
Totally unaccountable. I hear you, but I do kindly disagree.
That's fair.
And like, I still respect your badge.
Thank you.
Love this podcast for that reason.
I respect your badge. It was very close.
Interesting. For me, it's the fact that things change, situations change. 2 years ago is a long time, and if we are now on rescue number 23, it may be that 2 years ago that rescue number was like 8 or
and
9.
His expectation was, this is around what it will stay at.
Exactly. And we are okay to go into something and be like, sure, I think this is all right, and then feel over time like we are no longer okay with that situation. I think,
completely agree.
In my opinion, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't sound like he was being really horrible about it. Like, if we look at it, he got really angry and said, I'm sick of all of these animals, I can't deal with this anymore, if you're going to keep doing that, I'm going to leave you. It's not like he went, get rid of these animals.
And he didn't give an ultimatum.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like he was frustrated and healthily communicated that and was like, look, I can't deal with this anymore. He specifically went on to further explain, like, I'm not a fan of the rodents, the fact that you walk around with them all of the time and handle, like, he's explaining what it is that he doesn't like. And OP was like, get the F out, learn some damn respect. Like,
well, it's none of his business what I do in my house. I told him to get the F out of my house, and I'm like, he lives there too. I don't care if he doesn't pay money, he still lives there.
That's why, to me, I don't see boyfriend here as being accountable. I do think that you are the drama, and I think you're perfectly entitled to put that boundary down. I think you've said yourself, like, you would do anything for your pets. It's very clear that your priority is your pets first and then your boyfriend, but it's also okay for boyfriend to learn that that's not something he's okay with.
Yeah, I think that's where my little bit of boyfriend also being the drama comes in, of like, OP did set those boundaries, and yes, your feelings on the boundaries can change over time.
Or your experience, right?
But,
as those boundaries increase.
But clearly they've been living together for 2 years, knowing the financial setup, this is my house kind of vibe, the pets and everything. And I definitely hear you. I see where you're coming from. For me, that everyone sucks here, it is minimal on the boyfriend's part. It is mostly OP. I just think there were boundaries that were set and he's now not happy with them, so he is causing a bit of drama.
Fair enough.
Even though he's entitled to not be happy with them.
It's that word entitled. I find it really interesting because, like, on paper, I feel like OP's done everything right. They've set the boundaries. They're being clear with exactly what they want and what they need. They're entirely justified to say, I'll work my ass off, I do this is my priority, and yet there's still the drama. I find that really interesting. It is always context dependent, but just because you are doing you, the whole you do you thing doesn't mean that it's necessarily always right,
Yeah,
contextually.
no, I hear you. I just get a vibe like maybe OP doesn't like sharing their space. Like, I don't know,
Apart
just
from
like
with 23
yeah, apart from
animals.
with another human maybe, because like living together for 2 years and this still being the arrangement and how you view the house, it does feel a bit odd to me.
I do think it would be very difficult, I think, as well, for OP to find someone. I'm not saying it's impossible, but a lot of people would not be okay with living with that many animals. So, yeah.
I personally wouldn't. Unless you now suddenly developed a need to rescue animals because we've been together for so long and we've built this whole life together, I think I would just have to deal with it. But if it were a new relationship and somebody shared that information, it would potentially put me off.
You say that, but honestly, I think even if it was me, it wouldn't be okay. And I feel like it'd be the other way around too, because it's okay to have wants and to want things, also to have your own personal requirements. Jamie has such a need to be clean, to live in a place that, what do people say? Messy house, messy mind?
Yeah, oh, I'm definitely that. I
Yes.
can't work if the house is messy. Like, I'm looking over there and things are a bit messy right now and it just stresses me out.
Yeah. We have 2 cats, the second of which, when we took on, his previous family were not very kind to him, and he had like diagnosed anxiety and a really bad, how do I put this politely, need to piss all over our house and furniture. It was a nightmare. It was really tricky for a good like 6-7 months. It wasn't something that we thought were working. We spent so much money on like a cat behavioral therapist. We were crying in those meetings. It's like we were having couples therapy.
Yeah.
Speaking to the vets all the time. We were just like, is it right? Like, we were so concerned that we were the wrong parents, but that giving Prawn up, which I'm so glad we haven't had to do, would mean that he would suffer even more trauma from having another neglect. And that was a really hard time period. But during that time, I don't even remember, we went to, of course you remember, we went to see a potential household that would take Prawn on.
Yeah.
And they had 8 cats.
Yeah.
And they were also all old, and they sounded very much like OP, and I love that. I so love that there was a little haven there for those cats, one of which, by the way, had this issue where the cat would intentionally pee on plug sockets.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
That was like the thing. And the whole house, understandably, smelt like cat pee-pee and had litter and toys and fluff everywhere, and you would not be able to deal with that. So even if I turned into somebody who was just like, look, because we have been very close to being like, oh, like in Greece, there are so many cats. I'm like, please, let's take them home.
I've been saying, would a third really
You
make
really
a difference?
want one.
I really do. I do want a third.
But imagine if I developed a need to have so many animals. Honestly speaking, I don't think that's something that you would be able to deal with in your home space. And that is totally fair.
Granny flat, I would.
What do you think, Peaches? Let us know your thoughts below. Are you an everybody sucks here? Are you a you are the drama? Are you something else?
Not the drama, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm interested to see what other people have to say about this, to be honest.
I'm also really interested that I've given both a you are the drama and a brownie badge to the same person. I don't think that's ever happened before.
Different context, though.
It is.
Talking of Prawn, he's just walked in.
He is. And to conclude our personal journey with Prawn, he's settled now. It's wonderful with the help of the vets.
Joint best cat ever.
Yes, he's absolutely incredible. I'm so glad.
Sorry, just the way he walks makes me laugh. Everything about him makes me laugh.
Sometimes
so
I do
dumb.
think I am so glad we endured. Even when because the cat behavioural therapist was like,
you.
nah, he's not for you. Give him away. I'm so glad we didn't listen.
Yeah, he just walks around our house mewing now. It's very cute.
See, and the cats don't pay rent, but it's still their house, and we still have to make sure that the house is great for him too.
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
Equality.
You are the drama.
If you want him to be an equal partner, don't lord your financial power over him.
Very this.
Yes. Because you have to admit, if it's the other way round, I think we'd be more concerned if it was like a guy speaking about, I don't know OP's gender.
You're entirely
but
right.
If this was someone talking about their girlfriend,
it would feel like coercive control.
I feel like we'd automatically go, are they financially controlling this person?
Yeah. But because what ability do you have to lead?
Yeah.
Especially when you're like, learn some damn respect. Get the F out of my house.
That's like you're talking to a teenager, like your child.
Yeah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah. Oh, I'm feeling stronger in my how much drama OP is.
Fair enough. Maybe you'll change your badge by the end.
Yeah.
Maybe you keep it. I think both are perfectly respectable.
You are the drama. You live together. It's common decency to at least warn him when you're adopting a new animal. That being said, it sounds like you'll have some pretty big relationship issues. Yes.
Yeah.
It's more than just the animals.
I think so. And honestly, I think the biggest issue comes from OP's perception on what you're supposed to bring into a relationship. And that's my point. You can set the boundaries, but it doesn't mean that it's a healthy boundary to have objectively in a relationship. Something as big as a new animal.
Yeah.
Without your, not even consent, but awareness. That's a lot, babe. That's a lot. 23 is too many to be considered normal. What's normal, though?
Yeah, I don't agree with this. I think
I'm
as
with you.
long as people have the time, the finances, and the love for that many animals, then that is up to them.
Is it unconventional? Sure.
Yeah.
Does it mean that it's wrong? Not at all. Like, what the hell is a normal family setup anyway? And if this is like 23 birds, that's like quite reasonable. If it is 23 like little rodents, I think that's so cute that you have like a little rat hotel. Like,
Yeah.
that's so sweet.
And I'm sure with how passionate OP sounds about them being like put them before anything, I'm sure they are very well looked after.
Absolutely.
You don't adopt sick animals
Sick
and then just
old
neglect them. I was about to go, we could just get an old cat. Imagine, give them like a second lease of life.
You are the drama.
Even though you own the house, don't you think it's his too? I mean, he's lived there for 2 years. It may not be official, but I'd be pretty hurt if my partner kept making me feel unwelcome in a place I've lived for years. Yes, exactly.
I so agree with this. I think this is the biggest issue, right? Like, OP,
absolutely.
with respect, do better.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't come up in the conversation.
I
or
kind
maybe
of feel
it
like
did.
that's maybe something that he was trying to say.
Yeah.
To be like, these are things that I don't like. I don't think I can be in this relationship.
And the animals were just the crux of that. Like,
And remember, we're seeing this from OP's point of view. So if this is what we're hearing, it's obviously going to be from a biased point of view, where maybe OP's not fully understanding the intentions of the boyfriend too. So yeah, you are the drama. Gosh, this seems pretty consensual. No, what's the word I'm looking for?
I can only think of consensual. In consensus.
The consensus is the word, but like,
Consensus. This seems consistent.
I don't know. Move on.
Consequential.
You are the drama.
You're becoming a literal animal hoarder. Seek help now before the condition snowballs. I'm agreeing less with the people who are going after the animals.
Yeah, because like I'm sure some people say that about Miley Cyrus, because doesn't she have like 6 or 7 rescue dogs? Like,
Yeah, it's
just let people live the way that they want to live. No one's asking you to live with the animals.
Yeah, I think as long as the animals are being looked after properly,
Yeah.
I don't see why there's an issue.
I mean, apart from the boyfriend, because they
No,
literally
but, I mean,
asking boyfriend to live with the animals.
But for the animals and for the person adopting them as an individual, I don't see why there's an issue as long as they're looked after.
I'm with you. And you have, the finance to do it. What?
Okay, that's how I imagine like a really cute little cow would sing.
Thank you. I am a very cute little
Like
cow.
a jazz cow.
He was one of her rescues, but he developed opinions and now she wants to send him to the shelter. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think it's my favourite comment ever on any of these.
Very unhelpful. But
No, but it
aim for
actually,
comedy.
they're trying to be funny, and yes, on the surface it's unhelpful, but actually if you think deeper about it,
Yeah,
it
OP's
does
sitting on a
read
therapy
right.
couch. The question is basically, why are you treating your partner
like one of your
something that you
animals?
own?
Yeah.
Yeah. Deep, dude.
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm gonna say everyone sucks here. Okay, someone agrees with me. I wanted to say not the drama because I'm involved in animal rescue to an extent. I live with my mum, she's a foster for several rescues, plus I've rescued my fair share of cats and birds. Interesting combination to rescue.
I love that though.
And I totally get it. Your house, your animals, your money, etc. Plus he knew beforehand that you would always have animals to rescue.
Sorry, that just reminded me real quick. Do you remember that time when we had the cats because we hadn't had prawn yet?
Oh, and we had hamsters.
And we'd like fostered those silly hamsters.
Yeah.
Oh god,
Apollo
that was a
is
funny
so
time.
gentle. He just watched them though.
Yeah.
He would never go for them.
Yeah, carry on.
That being said, I also know what it's like to live with a person who just takes in more and more animals. It is super overwhelming. Like, I love my mum, but if she takes in any dogs, I might just scream.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? If you're not compatible with that, you do you, but I can't do that with you.
Yeah, it's very interesting because this person's literally just looking at it from the perspective of animal rescue in a positive light, apart from the when it gets too much, it gets too much kind of vibe. But they're very much like, oh, I was going to consider you not the drama because I think it's really cool that you rescue animals. They're not even considering how the boyfriend is involved in that situation, apart from like, it does get a bit overwhelming.
This to me is no different to somebody wanting kids and someone else not wanting kids, or somebody wanting more and more kids and you'd be like, I'm so sorry, I can't give that to you. This is just not something that I want in my life.
Yeah.
It's really sad, but if it's not compatible, it's not compatible.
And this comment does make sense because this is a child living with their mum. And I said, boyfriend is being treated more like a child.
Yep.
And so this person obviously is like, well, it's okay how you're treating him because you pay. Because they're coming at it from the mindset of, well, I live with my mum. There is a different
dynamic of power.
Yeah.
But when relationship, bang up.
Yeah.
Partnership, not ownership.
Drama.
I, a 26-year-old woman, accidentally had my baby
How?
at my friend's house, a 31-year-old woman, and now she's pissed. How do I solve this? What?
How do you accidentally have a baby at somebody's house?
Let's find out.
And also, why would someone be annoyed with... Okay, I want to read this. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
I don't even know where to start with this.
I
Me
can
neither.
see.
I'm sorry for bothering you all with it. Oh,
IP, you're not the drummer.
Yeah.
Decided.
I have a close friend group consisting of 7 women, including myself. We're all around the same age, 26 to 32.
Cute.
Oh, I love that 26 and 32 are the same age because we're like 30, so I'm like, yay, I'm not too old. Some of us have known each other since we were wee kids, so some are closer than others. Why do girls? We do girls' night about every month, but decided to keep it chill and do a movie night at Ella's house, seeing as myself and Sarah are pregnant. I was at 36 weeks at the time.
Right, help me with the maths. What's 36 weeks? Ready to pop?
I think you're 38, 39 when you pop.
Okay.
So, like...
You're close.
So, realistically, she wouldn't have thought she was about to give birth.
Sure, but you're at the place where you're like maybe warming up the plates, getting ready, putting the forks and knives on the table.
Yeah,
dinner is coming.
You want your nursery done.
Sure.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be terrible for the baby to arrive, but you probably wouldn't be expecting it just yet. I mean, I hope I'm right. I didn't want to just like mansplain babies, although trans guy privilege.
Your math is just, significantly better than mine. Carry on.
I've been having some discomfort for some days. Nothing I wasn't told was completely normal when things suddenly got kicked up a big ass notch. I don't know if that's how you say it. Perfect. Things got a bit hazy from there, but I went from discomfort to active labour in a short time.
Oh my god.
Wow. I didn't feel comfortable moving at that point, so someone called our version of 911. With the help of the EMT, my child, with impeccable timing and a flair for the dramatic, was born on her sofa.
Wow. I mean, congratulations, my love. That must have been a hella scary time.
Yeah.
You have just given birth
to a baby
in a way that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
In a very foreign environment.
Yeah. I would be honoured. Also worried for our friend.
And also potentially our furniture as a secondary.
Yeah, but you can get upholstery cleaner.
Exactly. You get a new sofa.
This is literally
amazing.
Yeah, this is the miracle of life happening
that?
on your sofa.
It's like a kick-ass auntie story to be like, baby, you owe me rent from the second you were.
No, but like also when they're like 10 years old, they sit on the sofa. It's like you were born right there. I love that.
Yeah, it's so cute.
I keep the sofa just for that moment. Massive stain. Who cares?
See that? Frame it. See that?
The girls were amazing, supportive, all of that.
Cute.
But when the EMTs came, they did ask most of them to leave, and I was grateful they did, as it was very overwhelming.
I mean,
I
7 friends. Do you know what I mean? I love my best friends. I don't want them seeing me pushing a squish out my vag.
Yeah, that's one step too far.
There's a line.
Yeah. I only asked Grace to stay, who I've known since we were tiny humans, and at that point I'd already crushed her hand, her words. She's also a nurse. Okay, so that
very good reasons. Yeah. Sure.
The weeks after have been a whirlwind. You have a new baby.
Congratulations.
Despite everything, baby and I are fine.
Yay.
My partner was initially upset she missed her birth.
Aww.
But moved on quickly as she fell in love with our baby. Oh, I would be sad if I missed the birth.
Yeah. I find it really interesting though. So this is a same gender couple.
Yeah.
2 gorgeous little lesbians, but...
Or bisexual.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Oh my god, I just erased myself.
You did.
How the frick?
And
guys.
The sofa is empty.
The bisexual erasure is real, guys. I find it interesting because we are a couple and we have a lot of couple friends.
Yeah.
They're in a same gender relationship and you're in this group of girls, but your girl is not part of those girls. Do you not find that interesting?
Yeah, that is interesting. But it might just be like a nice inclusive rule of we're the OG friendship group, no partners.
Maybe. I'm not judging at all. It's just like an interesting...
I didn't even think of that.
Dynamic.
Yeah.
Because I think we share a friendship group so much. I totally appreciate not all couples do that.
And I'm like, if I had like a lads night, all of like the friends and their partners, where they're gay guys, they'd come as well. The partners would be here.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And let's be real, I would also be there.
You would also be there. Yeah. And then many of our other friends who aren't guys. I just wouldn't have a lads night.
No, I don't know.
No, I didn't even have a stag do. I was just trying to say like I would invite
it was
partner.
a joint stag because we share friends. Anyway.
Thing is that Ella has been cold towards us ever since.
Is Ella?
I believe Ella is homeowner person.
Right. Where? Okay.
She's the owner of the couch.
Sure.
She's the only one who hasn't come by. Aww. When I apologised and thanked her, she sent me a bill for the sofa.
What?
Which I don't mind paying at all, but it still felt kind of harsh. Yeah.
Sorry?
No.
Sorry.
Okay. Sarah and some of the others said she was upset. I and the EMT sent her outside. No. If this happened at a hospital or at OP's house, would you expect a phone call to be invited? I'm so confused.
Do you think she expects to be there because it's her house? That's such
a weird boundary. Oh wow. Okay, let's finish the story and then chat because there's so many feelings.
So in shock right now.
I love those girls, but I already was in panic and having all of them there was just too much, understandably.
Yeah. You were pushing a life out of you.
Ella seems really hurt though. Sarah and Grace mentioned she at first didn't want to leave. I don't don't remember this, as it's her house.
Reminder, you were pushing a baby out of you.
And she wanted to be there when my baby was born. Apparently, Sarah's the one who told her it's not about her now and got her out. Wow.
Sarah's a good friend.
Ella is suffering from main character syndrome.
Legit.
She did ask months before to be there as well, but we'd already decided only my partner was going to be there.
Okay, so I mean, it's coming from a place of love, but like, babe, know your boundaries.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And also, if EMTs are telling you, like, this isn't a hospital environment where everything is prepped and conditioned
sterile
and you're ready. Like, EMTs have literally come to your house because someone is having a baby on your sofa. Why the F would you think that you should be there?
Yeah, the entitlement.
The audacity.
I don't really know how to fix this. I feel guilty. My wife says I shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't. How do I go about all this? She barely wants to speak to me. She's been distant towards the girls as well.
Okay.
Don't speak to her. Bye, Ella.
Cut her out of your friendship group.
You're now 6
this
friends.
Toxic little watermelon. What's the actual fuck? I'm so confused right now. And I'm so mad. I apologised and thanked her. That's a kind thing to do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. You'd be like, I'm so sorry. I just had my baby on your sofa. Thank you. You don't actually mean it. That's a courteous apology. And the courteous response is, babe, you didn't plan that.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think it's very kind for you to offer to pay for the sofa. If I'm being really honest, it wouldn't be top of mind as a mum, but I would do that.
As a couple, that I would offer if that happened. But
If I ruin someone's sofa because I amniotic fluided all over it, then yes, it's a kind thing to do. And I would be expecting that probably
Also,
as a friend
there's
for someone to
often
offer that. But I would not expect it within the first couple months. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have just become a new parent. How dare you bill the new mum and not even
But as
come
in
by
the only
to see the
thing,
child?
yeah, the only communication you have with the new mum and someone who's supposed to be one of your closest friends is to bill her for a sofa.
You should be honoured. This made me so mad, Jamie. This made me so mad.
No, it's really hard. Okay, this is maybe coming from the perspective of if our sofa got ruined or dirty, we could afford to buy a new one or afford to pay for somebody to clean it or clean it ourselves depending on the level of dirt. It wouldn't cross my mind. It would be nice if somebody offered, but if a friend had an emergency and something happened to the sofa, it would not be my first thought to be like, here is the bill. I would just deal with the sofa myself.
If I'm being really honest, it would be on my mind. If this had happened to us
I
and it was
know.
a friend, and I'd be like, a sofa is a big integral part of furniture.
Oh, I'd be
To
sad.
without
I
a
love our sofa.
'Cause if you can't sit on an amniotic fluidy poopy sofa, I totally get that. And I would be thinking my sofa. And you would need to sort out a replacement pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So it would be top of mind to be like, I should probably sort this out. And it's a bit annoying that someone else has done this and I am forking this bill out right now. I totally appreciate if you were not in the financial position to do that, why you would expect or want to ask. But even though that want is there at that point, you need to sort it out and then you need to bring it up after this new mum has just had her baby.
Give
you
it some
don't
breathing
ask
space.
right away. You wait and then you go and see the kid and you're like, here is a meal and here is a baby grow or whatever the F you want to get the baby. And then in a month's time you go, by the way, babe, you know that sofa? That's how you do it. Not this. I'm so mad.
Yeah, I can tell you're shouting into your microphone.
Sorry, I'm so mad.
Should we do badges?
Yes, not the drama.
Not the drama.
Because not the drama.
Yeah, not
Ever.
the drama.
And I'm so sad that you feel that you need to in any way ask objectively.
Do you know who is the drama?
Ella.
The baby. No,
The
I
baby
think, but
is a dramatic.
saying not the drama, it is a little dramatic to give birth on your friend's sofa, but that doesn't make you the drama in this situation.
It's not your fault. It's not. You
It's
can't time it.
If a friend had diarrhea, I'm not going to get mad at them if they have an accident.
No, but you would maybe expect your friend to sort out the sofa mess. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's cleanable, I would be like, I don't really want to clean your poop.
You know what I would do? And maybe this speaks too much into who we are as couples, and maybe not everyone would do that. If I was the partner, that's the partner's
speak
job.
to the partners.
The partner will know that you come home with a baby, right? You've just called and you're like, oh my God, you just had a baby on the friend's couch. I'd be like, oh, yes, I am new mum. Also, friend, let me sort out that couch for you.
It's the first thing baby did was poop on Ella's couch. Help.
I do also feel obviously partner will be very overwhelmed because they're also new mum in this situation.
Yeah.
And this is happening way earlier than they expected. So like, obviously give them grace.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Ella, what?
Entitled
Why?
Ella.
I mean, you couldn't control when you went into labour, but it is on you to pay for the couch. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. The timing of that couch payment is later.
Where I come from is I definitely like wouldn't push for it. I have a real issue when it's not somebody's fault. If someone came in and like they brought their dog and we were like, no dog on the sofa, not that we say that, but say we had said that, and the dog jumped on the sofa and took a massive dump and scratched it, I would then be like, guys, this is your responsibility. But if they came in and had a baby on our couch not meaning to, and it was totally like shocker, and obviously they're allowed to be on the sofa, I would really struggle to be like, could you pay for the couch please, at any point. I know morally they should, but I'd find it really difficult because it's not like they chose to come and mess up our couch or that they did anything wrong to mess up our couch. It was an accident.
I hear you, but
I'd
when
offer to
accidents
split
happen,
it.
you can still do it. But my point is, like, we would never be in that position with our friends. I know, because
That
we
they'd
share
offer.
our friends. They would just offer. It's the right thing to do. Even if you don't have like the largest amount of money, you can be like, what can I come and clean it? You don't need to play for like if your sofa happens to be like I don't know what the price of a new sofa is, like $7,000 or whatever, because these things do be spenny. Like, I don't expect anyone to just be able to afford that, but like offer to help in some way.
Yeah, I'd
Acknowledge the fact that you messed
offer
up
to
my
like
sofa.
split it.
Or to pay for the dry cleaning, to be like, hey, can you get an upholstery bill? Even if you don't have too much money, to be like, let me see what I can do.
Sure.
You know, like,
Yeah.
acknowledge.
No,
that you
I
messed
do
up their
agree.
sofa.
I just think like my personality, I would struggle when it was such an accident and an unintentional thing.
I hear you.
Especially if somebody's like, if it's a new baby and maybe they're not in the best financial situation, I would at least be like, split it and you can just do it over time if you're struggling.
Even that feels bad. If we're talking about financial positions, obviously all of these intersectionality is so important, and wealth is an important thing to consider. If Ella had a lot of money and these are new parents that didn't have too much money, I would still expect them to offer help in some way, just because it's the kind of thing
In
to
a
do.
way that they could.
But you could then turn it down and be like, babe, shut up. You just had a baby. It wasn't your fault. But like, to offer is the important thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. I don't think we'll ever be in this situation though, because very few of our friends even want kids.
Even if it's like a 56p sponge and some fairy liquid, to be like, I'm so sorry,
Or
let me
even
try.
if, like,
you do something for the mess that you caused,
I think
accident or not.
What if this was you giving birth on a sofa and we didn't have money to offer to pay for a new one? I would offer to go around and clean it.
Yeah, that's my
myself.
point. Like, do something,
And if it
offer
doesn't
something
work,
to help their sofa.
We'd go from there, because I don't know how good I would do. I'd probably be like, ew. I wouldn't have waited for a bill for the cleaning. I'd have arranged for them to get a whole new couch before it got to the point of the friend sending the bill.
Excuse me, commenter. She
just had a
pushed
baby.
a squish out of her body. What are you talking about?
Why are people so obsessed with money grabbing and like, oh. God, I'm sure Ella can sit on a beanbag.
Slapped with a fish. Someone said, I'm going to paraphrase a bit from your friend's perspective.
Oh God. She had a group of friends over for a movie, and one friend with a medical condition who'd been showing symptoms prior to the event decided to attend anyway. But she got them checked out and they said it was normal and that it wasn't
Oh, I really
labour.
hate this comment.
Yeah, it's I'm going to paraphrase a bit.
I do think it's really important to put yourself in the other perspective.
Yeah,
Let's do it as a
but-
test, but that already is not, like, that's not what someone would be thinking.
She had a group of her friends over for a movie. One was pregnant and had been assured that the symptoms she was having were normal and not the beginning of labour, so she decided to come anyway.
Like,
that's the correct
a month
paraphrasing.
before due to give birth.
Yeah. During the event, said friend's medical condition became emergent and the friend refused to go to the hospital. Where was the refusal to go to the hospital? She said it went really quickly
And things are
from
hazy.
mild symptoms to...
And that she couldn't move.
My mum's labour lasted less than 2 hours. She nearly didn't get to the hospital. So if you're quicker than that, you're not going to get there in time. And after a certain point, they won't move you. When EMTs arrived, she was removed from her own living room/home and was insulted in front of most of her friends by being called selfish for wanting to stay in said room/home.
Yeah, because someone else is having life treatment.
I'm sorry, if any friend had a medical emergency in my home and the EMTs and other friends were like, let's give them some privacy, I'm leaving. It's like you're allowed to lock the bathroom and take a dump at a friend's house. She doesn't expect to be in there with you, does she?
What is this person on?
I don't know. Entitlement pills or something.
After the entire ordeal was over, the EMTs and the friends left and she had a crime scene. She wasn't allowed to do anything during the process to prevent the destruction of her home. And literally none of these so-called friends stuck around to help her clean up the literal biohazard. Do you know that? Were we told about what friends did afterwards?
No.
I don't have any of that
information.
information.
Yeah, there was none of that info.
I'm assuming because they're 7 friends, like, if that were me, I'd be hanging around to be like, babe, let's help clear up everything that's happened here. There were bodily fluids saturating the couch, which started to smell almost immediately. Any carpet or laminate flooring was also saturated and likely destroyed as well.
Laminate would have been fine if it was wiped up quickly.
God, this person
There was
sounds
no...
like the biggest.
Do you know who this is?
Arsehole.
Ella.
This is Ella.
This is Ella.
It was weeks before said friend reached out and didn't even bother to ask about the damages or the cost of her choice to come to her home while she was experiencing symptoms of her condition. The costs of her choice didn't even bother as a newborn mum. There are very few times that I've wanted to physically slap someone. All the while she was having to deal with the sad reality that maybe those weren't her friends after all.
You will never convince me that this is not the friend whose house that was who
Crack
wrote
off
this.
then. Go find yourself a new friendship group. They deserve better than you, babe. Ooh, this is what's missing. 100% the sanest response.
No, I'm sorry. What are the commenters on? No.
I disagree with Reddit a lot of the time.
I think a shocking number of people lack empathy and understanding.
Maybe.
And they think that they're the most important people.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
And some people are entitled.
Yeah. Very that. This is by far the best response and should be at the top. Of course, it was a difficult time for OP, but it'd be understandably traumatizing for the homeowner. This is so stupid because it's coming from the point of view of trying to put yourself in someone else's perspective. You put yourself in the perspective of someone who was not expecting to have a fucking baby at their friend's house.
And had a baby
Prematurely.
at their friend's house. Why is nobody thinking about that?
I think many people are. I think this is a wonderful, refreshing realization that not everybody is the same and there are some people that we just don't get on with.
Because they're batshit. What the hell?
This next submission is from a fellow Peach. Thank you so much, my love. A reminder to all you Peaches, if you would like to submit your own Am I the Drama, you can do so from our website. All the details are downstairs in the description.
So, Lost My Friend asks, am I the drama for telling my close friend I have feelings for him when he is going through a divorce?
Ooh.
Oh.
Interesting. Spicy.
Yeah.
I, a 30-year-old woman, have known M, a 37-year-old man, for a few years and we've been pretty close friends for over a year.
Okay.
I left my partner, unrelated to M, in January, and at that point M and his wife had opened their relationship. I'd really love to know how long Lost My Friend was with their partner, but we move. M and I talked and had both been attracted to each other for a long time and we agreed to try being friends with benefits.
Okay.
This went on for about a month total, but it became increasingly obvious that it was really intense and beautiful and not at all casual.
Right.
Chapel Rowan enters the room. We messaged back and forth about our feelings in bunny quotes and how to set boundaries moving forward, but when we met up to discuss, he'd already decided to end it at the risk of one of us getting hurt. I was really upset, says Lost My Friend, but I understood. I'd realised by then that I was in love. Do you know what though? It does make sense then. If your friends with benefits boundaries was for it to be casual,
yeah.
I think he did the right
and
thing.
he was realising it was not casual.
Yeah. 5 weeks later, he messaged me that they had separated and were getting a divorce and he was overwhelmed, but okay.
Right.
I offered support, but I gave him space. We gradually started messaging in a friendly way. And after 3 weeks, I wrote that I realised he wasn't ready, but did any part of him want to explore a relationship with me down the line? 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's not long enough.
Yes. He messaged back that no, he didn't have feelings for me and that he was
Okay.
sorry if I was upset, but he had tried to warn me and thought that I understood the risks.
Right.
I told him that I was a bit confused because I have feelings for him and I thought it was mutual. I then quite pathetically asked if he was still interested in a friends with benefits thing. Okay.
Right.
All right. So I'm hearing that you have feelings, but he does not have feelings, and he's made that clear.
Yeah.
And that this friends with benefit arrangement broke because he didn't reciprocate those feelings, but you did, and he thought this was getting too much.
Yeah, he was literally there for the physical element of friends with benefits, and he probably could sense that OP was getting in deeper
I think he's
emotionally.
definitely sensed, right?
Yeah, and
And
was
he's like, "I'm
like,
sorry."
yeah, this isn't. We need to stop this.
Yes, I did try and tell you.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the vibe, right?
Yeah.
He basically replied that he had no interest in me and wanted space.
Right.
I can also understand this. I feel like he's done everything correctly. Do you see what I mean? Like, especially considering that he's only 3 weeks out of a marriage.
Yeah.
That must be very difficult. But I also understand, I'm not blaming OP for asking the question, because especially if you are in a bit deeper, it's okay. Sometimes we do act in ways that we feel we need to out of desperation, even
Yeah.
if objectively they're not the fantastically most incredible right thing for us. I apologised and told him that I of course respected that. When I had to contact him a couple of weeks later because of work, I apologised again and I made it clear that I don't regret what happened between us and I really value our friendship. He was cold and he made it clear that he felt our friendship was over. Eventually he agreed to give each other space and see again in a few months. I'm struggling to understand what I did to warrant him ending our friendship without even talking in person. Am I the drama for telling him that I have feelings for him and asking if he was interested in me this soon after his separation?
Okay.
I think I have a badge and I want to unpack just one thing.
Yeah.
You spoke to him for work. a couple of weeks later, right? A couple of weeks is a great amount of time to give someone space when they've asked for space. But then when you're establishing that you're reaching out for a work reason and then bringing in the personal issue again, I can understand why he's like, whoa.
Yeah, and also like, I don't know what kind of work inquiry it was. If it didn't feel super duper urgent to me, I would question if it was necessary, and maybe if that had been brought to me just so that they could then speak to me about the personal thing again.
Even if it was just the work thing, like ask the work question, but don't mention the friendship. Don't mention any of that stuff. It definitely feels like, even you're saying this now, in the present, I have feelings for him.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, maybe we can still be friends. I think if you're being really honest with yourself, lost my friend, what you're wanting is not just friendship, and we need to realize that in those moments, and I
maybe
think not lie to ourselves as well.
Yeah.
Because I think it's kind of clear that he's caught on in a way that maybe you don't even understand.
And maybe that's why he has said friendship is over as well, because he knows that it's not just friendship for you.
Yeah.
So it might not be that he dislikes you or doesn't want to be friends, but he knows that that can't happen because you've expressed these deeper dynamic feelings. It's honestly not fair on either of you to try and pretend that a friendship is the right way forward at the moment. Maybe in the future, maybe if you can reach out at some point and say, look, I'm could totally just be friends now. I'm over those feelings I had for you in the past. I would love our friendship to restart. Yeah. Then perhaps that's something that could happen.
Let's like use that exercise that the person tried to in the last story and put ourselves in his perspective, right? You've both gone in with his friends with benefits, and he was like, cool, but only on this superficial level. Yeah. You've gone, I like you more. He's gone, we can't do this anymore. He's gotten a divorce, and you've gone, hey, would you be interested? And he's gone, no. And then you've gone, would you want friends with benefits? And he's gone, no. And then you've gone, would you be my friend? And he's gone, no. Like, I feel like many, many times he's made quite clear that this is not something that he wants, and I feel like you've made it quite clear, at least to us in this post, that you're not quite at peace with what you want versus what you're saying you're able to offer. And that's okay, because relationships are tricky and feelings are tricky, but I do think space is a good idea. And with regret, I do think you're the drama.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do think you're the drama, not for having the feelings and not for expressing them, but it is literally just because you only waited 3 weeks and then kind of kept pushing as well. It should have just been like, no, I don't have those kind of feelings for you. And then maybe letting the friendship naturally flow from there. Perhaps he's realised he needs to back off in every way because you kept asking questions about the nature of your relationship and what he wanted 3 weeks after he went for a divorce. He's going through a lot at the minute, and I
think this is a prime example of like, it may not be a you thing in that moment, but that space is really important to give people. And especially with the whole, like when you are blurring those boundaries by being like, let's pursue something, okay, find friends with benefits, let me ask you this work thing, okay, let's talk about our friendship. Like, it can be a bit much, and we've all been there, or I think we've all felt that way at times. Time is a wonderful thing, and I think retrospectively, this won't sound so harsh, I'm really sorry, I know it must suck to be that way, but I do think
and I think he just needs some time to move on from what he's experienced, and you need some time to move on from those feelings that are unrequited.
Absolutely. In your experience, do you think a friendship could come out of this in the future?
If OP's feelings genuinely do disappear, and we know they can, then yes, I think there could be a friendship, but I think there would be a rebuilding of trust that from OP to M, for M to believe that it was just a friendship. Because I think there may always be a question of, what if she's still interested and I don't want to lead somebody on?
Sure. I mean, if someone has had time, I get it. And I do question as well, it might be difficult to see right now, lost my friend, but it might be that when you are over those feelings of love that you have, you might not want to be friends with that person anymore. Yeah. As well, like his view on this as well could be, oh gosh, you are the person that unfortunately and through collateral damage will always be linked to my divorce. Yeah. Do you see what I mean? Well, like, even that's no fault of your own.
OP maybe doesn't know the full reason why the formal separation and divorce happened. Obviously, M was having difficulties with his wife beforehand.
It's going to be tricky if you're opening your relationship.
But
for that reason.
It may be that because a more serious friends with benefits within the open relationship developed, that could have been the nail in the coffin of their relationship, which even though it was going to end anyway and it was not at all OP's fault, in M's mind right now, because it's so fresh, there could be a slight negative feeling about what happened.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like, it might be
so
like
many things going
on in the brain, just like this connection that he'll never be able to look past, but that's also something that everyone is entitled to do. Yeah. It's a tricky situation though, my love. I am sorry that you're in it. I don't think it's your fault. It's never someone's fault when they're like in love. As you said, like everybody's feelings are always valid. It's just sometimes what we do with them can sometimes make us act in ways that aren't objectively the best for them or for us.
Yeah, you just acted a little bit too quick after a divorce.
And I don't think it's just the quick thing. I do think the quick thing is
the
important.
Quick and the pushing.
And trying to be like a tough love friend here. Don't think you're being true to yourself. You don't want a friendship, and I don't think you can offer a friendship friendship right now because you want more. That's how it's reading.
Yeah.
I say that with the greatest of love.
I hear you. I agree with that. Well, good luck.
This was a heavy episode.
Yeah.
I'm still not over the shock of the second story.
Yeah,
It
and
annoyed me
the
so
response
much.
from other people as well. That, like, put yourself in her shoes. No. I would like to go through that point by point and say, actually, put yourself in person giving birth's shoes, and then we'll find a middle ground, which is definitely not what that commenter said. I could talk about it for ages.
Sending love. Oof, this was a big one.
It was a big one. Lots of relationship breakdowns, lots of heavy topics. Thank you so much for listening, though. Hope you enjoyed it.
I hope you've learned a little something. I feel like I have.
Yes, same. I like having these discussions.
For sure. If you enjoy them too, if you like being part of this little community, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube and subscribing. Thank you so much for 150k. Yay! If you're listening to this on a podcast platform, Spotify, Apple, where all the other cozy podcasts live,
please do give us a little rating. It does really, really help the podcast out. And you can rate individual episodes as well, so please consider doing that.
Yes, we read every single review. We're so grateful for your ongoing support.
Absolutely. And if you maybe want to have a story of your own featured in the podcast, you can go to our website and submit it on the little podcast tab.
Be kind.
Much love.
And have a great day.
Bye.